We went to VidSummit about a month ago, and we went to a bunch of the VIP parties. So I got to ask top YouTubers whatever I wanted. So I did. I asked them all the same question. So for some context, VidSummit is a huge event where top YouTubers get together and they share their secrets and strategies with each other, and there are a bunch of talks. There's keynote speakers, people like Colin and Samir, MrBeast, Ryan Trahan, Hope Scope that are really big on YouTube and YouTube strategy. So at the party, what do you think I was asking? Well, I wanted to know who everyone's favorite speaker was. I wanted to know which one they got the most value from. The crazy thing was everybody had the exact same answer. And I expected it to be one of those like MrBeast or Colin and Samir, and it wasn't. It was Kendall Gray. And thank goodness I went to his talk too, because he was not hyped up. He was not one of the headline speakers. He wasn't on any of the VidSummit promotional material. He was just a guy that I didn't know much about. Funny thing was, when we got to his talk, he didn't want to go on stage. He was in the back of the room with Daryl, who runs the event, and Daryl was trying to talk him into getting on stage because he was so nervous and he's not used to doing things like that. And even when Daryl talked him into doing it, he didn't give a presentation with a bunch of graphs and slides like the other YouTubers. He just sat in a chair and Daryl asked him some questions because that's what he was willing to do. And he was great. I loved his talk, even before I heard that he was the favorite among everybody else. So why did the guy who didn't even want to get on stage steal the spotlight from all these other big YouTubers who had probably spent months preparing their presentations for VidSummit? There's a lot we can learn from it. We just pay attention. So I'm gonna show you some examples here. All of these examples I chose are from one video because he's so good at this. It's all we really needed. And so this video is called Eating Only What I Can Catch in the River for 24 Hours. So it's a challenge video. He's only supposed to eat what he can catch in the river in 24 hours. So at first he's a little bit frustrated, and this guy hunts and fishes all the time. So that is actually something worth noting. He is showing frustration that he can't catch anything, even though he's experienced. So he's not trying to show more authority or more expertise than he has. I don't think it takes away from his authority and expertise, but he's not trying to fake anything. He's honest that he's frustrated and he's having a hard time. So we're 1 minute in, and he's already showed a lot of frustration, and then he catches the fish.
It's some kind of big bass. I just don't know what kind. It's either smallmouth or a spotted bass. Fighting pretty good for whatever it is. Oh, it's a catfish. That's perfect.
So he's really excited. He's not trying to play it cool. He's not trying to act like, oh yeah, I just got here and I caught one right away. Maybe it was fairly quick, but he shows the initial frustration and then he shows the genuine excitement when he catches something. He's unfiltered and he's also extremely expressive. Okay, I wasn't planning on sharing this, but I think this is just so relevant for being better on camera and relevant to this example. So often we feel like, well, I don't want to express more emotion. I don't want to be more expressive because I don't want to feel like I'm acting. The weird thing is when a camera is on, and I swear to you, I have seen this so much. I've seen it with myself. I've seen it with other people. When a camera is on, people do the opposite. They're actually less expressive and less genuine than they would be otherwise because they're nervous by the camera. So what feels like maybe acting isn't, because it's more like how you would have been in real life. And if you push yourself in that way, you'll eventually get to the point where you feel more comfortable and it doesn't feel like you're having to try anymore. And you'll be surprised that you're actually a lot more expressive than you were before. Now, if you say, I'm boring, do you have any friends? Do you have a single friend in the whole world? If you don't, I'm so sorry. Join some more of our lives and we'll hang out. But I think most of you do, and it's because you're enjoyable to be around. Maybe there are certain people that like you better than others, but there are certain people who really do like being around you. So I don't want to hear it that you are too boring to be on camera, unless you're suppressing your emotions, which is very natural if you're a beginner, in which case we will work on that. I'm getting to that.
Guys, long story short, wasn't exactly the most productive float out here today, but we're not going back empty-handed. We are going back with a catfish named Jerry. But now,
okay, let's assess where we're at. So we caught a fish named Jerry. Can you use to talk to Jerry for the whole rest of the float so you feel like you're hanging out with a friend, because he's being really lighthearted, he's being funny. And if you can get comfortable enough on camera to add those things into your videos, maybe you're not necessarily naming a fish Jerry, but you're comfortable enough to make stupid jokes, your audience will seriously love it. He's not just showing genuine reactions, that's awesome, but he's also saying very genuine things that I think most beginner YouTubers would absolutely filter out. So let me just show you.
And hope that Jerry makes it back with us, because he's just going to be hanging off the side of the boat the whole time. So everybody comment below. Good luck, Jerry, because you're going to need it. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, the rapids start right here. Now this ain't necessarily class 10 rapids. I'm sure it's pretty close to 7 or 8, you know? Uh-oh. Hold on, Jerry. Hold on, Jerry. All right, we good so far.
So he cooks Jerry.
We're gonna practice my favorite fishing method. Catch and release into a pot of oil. That's pretty much it. It's time to eat Jerry. All right, Jerry looking a whole lot different now, huh? Yeah. Not gonna lie though, for a tiny catfish like Jerry, that's kind of a lot of meat. Like I was honestly thinking there for a little bit I was gonna have to go catch some hush puppies off camera, if you know what I mean.
So he just completely admits that he was considering cheating on this challenge. Think about how counterintuitive that is. I feel like because he makes it look so natural, people don't even consider this. And that's maybe why it's hard to emulate and understand the strategy behind this. But the average beginner YouTuber would be worried that people would think that they cheated. So they'd be hungry, maybe it'd cross their mind, and they would think, well, I hope my audience doesn't think I cheated. How do I convince my audience that I really haven't eaten anything other than what I caught in the river? Kendall just makes a joke out of cheating. It's very counterintuitive. He just calls it out. He doesn't do it. He jokes about it. And you know that maybe it's a joke all along. Maybe he wasn't really thinking about cheating. But the point is that saying your honest thoughts, and then you can decide to leave them in or not. If you get it into the edit and it doesn't work, you can take it out. But getting to that point where you just aren't worried about what the audience thinks, you're willing to say whatever, be completely you, is where your channel is going to transform. And he keeps doing that kind of thing later on. So later that night, he goes out to try to catch frogs.
I don't know if you can see it, you definitely can't, but now you can. All right, we're in the river at night, which might be a really bad idea. But I had an idea. What if we could come out here and catch some frogs? I don't know. I mean, do frogs live in rivers? I don't know, but I figured it's worth a shot. This might be a bad idea. I don't know yet. We're here with Noah. We're in the bathtub, and then we have your dad.
The boat is named his bathtub. I don't know why.
Out here as our motor. One way or another, this is gonna be pretty epic. I'm just gonna turn my big light on. We're just gonna go down the bank and look for some eyes. We might get lucky and get us a frog right here. Eyes you might be seeing are actually those right there. See, you can even see its eyes shining right there. That's why if you're looking for frogs, you gotta look for two eyes spread apart a pretty good amount. Because a lot of those shiny eyes you see over there, they're not frogs, they're just big spiders. I just
Found a frog, they're going in.
I actually seen two of them, so this might be all right. Either way, KG Frog Gig is getting unsheathed. Oh, right there he is, right there he is. See, zoom in on it, zoom in on it. See him right there? Ah, it's a small one.
Okay, he says he's too small to eat.
He's too small to eat for sure. I mean, we found a frog, wrong kind of frog, wrong size of frog. Let's check this other one up here. It looked bigger, but it still may not be as big as we need. There he is, there he is. That's a bullfrog. See him right there? That's a bullfrog, but once again, too small, man. We're on the right track though. We seen a bullfrog.
This is so good. 30 seconds later.
All right, guys, turns out whenever your stomach starts growling, your morals start to change a little bit. We're going back and we're getting that frog.
Wait, I think this is the most important part for you to really understand so you can apply it to your channel, even if your channel isn't as goofy and you're not doing hunting and fishing. So, not 30 seconds later, he changes his mind on his morals. He admits that he changes his mind on his morals and he goes back to get the smaller frog. Now, what most beginner YouTubers, I would say most YouTubers in general would do, is they would either cut out the initial part where they said they were passing the frog, and they would act like, yeah, these are the kinds of frogs we were going for in the first place. And they feel like that would look better to their audience. Or they would maybe eat the frogs off camera, or maybe they would consider going back for the smaller frogs, but because they think that would look bad to their audience, even though they're willing to do it, they would keep on going and look for bigger frogs. Kendall admits that his morals changed because he's really hungry, rethinks it, goes back, and he catches a small frog. Now, this is the kind of thing that people need to remember to leave in the edit, but it isn't just leaving in the edit. It's about doing it in the first place, because a lot of people would not have even let that story happen because they're so focused on how all of this is going to look to their audience. And the really ironic thing is that this guy admitting that he's compromising his morals in a small way makes you like him better. It makes me like him better. I think that's why people at Vid Summit liked him so much. He was hilarious during his talk. And afterwards, at the VIP party, people said that's really how he is. People who know him personally said that he was 100% the same way in real life as he is on camera and as he is on stage. That's important too, because I'll be honest with you, there are people, I've seen them, I've known them, who could really fake being genuine on camera. And there's nothing terribly wrong with that to an extent. I mean, if you have to fake being as genuine as you can, being as close to the way you really are as you possibly can, That's fine. You're getting practice. You're trying to get there. But it's interesting to me that he's not just putting on a show of pretending to be casual or humble bragging. He's actually like this in real life, and people that know him can attest to that. So the goal is to figure out how to be yourself on camera. I mean, this can backfire. If you're focused too much on seeming natural and acting relaxed and funny, that can absolutely backfire just as much as acting too polished and formal. So he's really something you're going to have to practice, and that's okay. The point is Kendall has actually found that sweet spot where he is who he is on camera and in real life. And that's why it works so well. So because this takes practice and it's hard to learn, we're starting a challenge, and it is a 10-day challenge to get extremely comfortable on camera. And you're also gonna get better on camera, but actually we're gonna be focusing on getting comfortable on camera because that will make you better on camera more than anything else. And there are a lot of really interesting techniques and exercises in this 10-day challenge. It's $10 and it starts on November 4th. Get in now because then you can get connected with accountability partner, the group. You can start posting things. We're gonna have some things in there early for you. And after November 4th, there is no option to join anymore.
Does it?
Yeah.
It's packed in there pretty hard, huh? Here, you do some. Yeah. Put her to work, son.
So to be like Kendall, you kind of have to be like you, because Kendall is just being like Kendall. And the people that know him in real life know that on his channel, he's just being Kendall. He's not being anyone else. And oddly enough, when that little red light is on and the camera is recording, it's a lot harder than you would think to just be yourself. So we're gonna walk you through getting comfortable and learning to be yourself on camera. So sign up for the challenge. I can't wait to see you in there. We are going to be doing a couple lives and interacting with you guys the whole time. I think you're gonna make some really awesome progress. Go check out Kendall's channel if you wanna see a goofy guy doing some hunting, and I will see you in the challenge.